Hey guys, it's Mike for Faraday Research. It's Sunday night, and I'm just doing some testing with the system, and still my tests keep coming back the same. I ran the motor for about over an hour, and I got two batteries hooked up in parallel, so it was two 12 volts, it's 24 volts, so it's actually at 29 volts right now. And I ran it for over an hour, and it didn't budge. Batteries aren't dying, so on the weekend I'm gonna have to do a full day test to really see where I'm at. I've ran the motor for over 2 hours with the batteries, and the batteries don't die. So this is what I'm getting at as far as my theory and what I'm talking about, is because the more batteries you hook up, so I plan to put, well, I gotta get 3 more of these guys. If we get 3 more of these guys, they're 12 volts and they're 11 amp hour batteries, so the motorcycle battery. That's one of the things I need to get. And that's where a lot of the contributions for Patreon go to buy stuff like this for the project. So this 12 volt battery here is a smaller one. That's going to be used to run all the other electronics in the box. So I'm going to leave that battery for that. I need 3 more of these guys so I can get it up to about 48 volts. If I can get it up to 48 volts, have 4 of these batteries here hooked up in parallel, 48 volts. And because the potential is so high, because this motor is designed not to run on current, those batteries will pretty much run indefinitely. Because when you get to a certain threshold and you're under that margin of, pulling current off the battery starts going down. But because the way the motor is designed, I'm well below that threshold, the batteries basically stay the same. They might go down maybe a couple hundred milliamps, but here's the point. After that run, if you stop the motor, within about 5-10 minutes, those batteries will go right back up to its original voltage, because I'm not putting a physical strain on the battery. The battery doesn't even see the motor, because the current draw, the current demand off the batteries is almost non-existent. So if the current draw off the battery is non-existent, well, guess what? Well, the battery never wears out. Well, if the battery never wears out, that means this motor can run pretty much forever. So the test I did tonight, I was putting out 8.1 watts, and I was putting in 1.7 watts. And the battery didn't go anywhere. It stayed the same. So, yeah, actually it went down. It was 100 millivolts. And within shutting off the motor, letting it sit for about 10 minutes, it went right back to the original starting voltage of 24.9 volts. So, this thing is not drawing power. It's drawing the voltage off the battery. It's not drawing the current off the battery. There's 2 very big things. The fact that it's not drawing the current, that means the battery doesn't die. So, yeah, this is going real good, real good. So that's why I need to get these batteries. I need 3 more of those. I got some Patreon money that I was able to generate this weekend. That's going to go buy the batteries. So that's the reason for me asking for contributions every now and then, because I have to get the hardware in order to make this stuff. Like a lot of it I pull out of my own pocket, but some of the stuff I have to pull out of, what I make off the Patreon. So basically I'm making nothing off this. It's research and development. I'm doing this all on my own free time, and a lot of it's coming out of my own pocket, so I can show you guys that it is possible to have an over unity device that actually produces power and continuous power, and something that's not going to die in 2 or 3 hours after you turn it on. This thing will last days, maybe months, who knows. I have to run a real long test on this now. Literally, I have to run this for a full day. So hopefully in the near future, on a Sunday, at the crack of dawn, I'm going to get this thing fired up, and I'm going to let it run the entire day. Maybe let it run for 12 hours straight and see what kind of results I get. But from what I'm seeing right now, the amount of power draw that I'm going to be taking off these batteries are almost going to be non-existent. And after I shut the power off, I could almost bet your bottom dollar that the batteries will recharge themselves, because it's a lead acid battery. They have that kind of quality where they can kind of regenerate themselves. But yeah, there is a threshold. If you can get below that threshold of current draw from the battery won't even see it. It does not affect the battery. So this is what I'm trying to get everybody on board with. And really, you can't do it without the spark gap switch. Without that spark gap switch, what I'm doing right now is impossible. Impossible. You have to have the physical break in the connection. That's what I'm trying to get through to everybody about this, and why that break is so important. Because when you're with the spark gap, it's creating the resistance as it starts separating. And when that break happens, the resistance in that circuit now goes to zero. It goes to zero. Zero resistance. Therefore, it takes the resistance of current off the battery. And that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. Without that spark gap switch, what I'm doing is impossible. The other factor, obviously, is going to be the piezoelectric back here. Without that piezo, I cannot put out the power that I'm putting. Like tonight, 8.1 watts, I'm putting in 1.7. I could probably even get it down lower. And yeah, it works. And every day I do it, I'm getting the same results. It's not changing. So, definitely onto something great here. I just want to keep this thing moving. I got the box. I'm designing how I'm going to put the box together. I pretty much settled I'm going to have 4 of these batteries, 1 of these guys to run the electronics, get it retrofitted. I'm going to have to print off 1 of these. That's going to take a full day. I got to buy 3D printer filament for it because I'm getting a little bit low, so that's like another 50 bucks. These things are like 70 bucks each, so I need another 3 of those. And yeah, so now you see my costs. My costs are great. Also, I need battery terminals, high voltage battery terminals, the good ones, not the cheap ass ones. You know, all this hardware has to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of it's coming out of my pocket, but now that I'm getting some more revenue through Patreon, it's going to help me make these projects become a reality faster. So, yeah, I'm very happy with the results. Then after I get it in the box, then I'm going to work on getting even more output. There's a few other ideas I want to try that I'm going to try hooking up to the system to give even more wattage output without any extra input. So that's a key factor. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, bottom right hand corner, don't forget below is my links for Patreon, also my PayPal. I've had a few people donate through PayPal. Tao, thank you very much for your donation. That's greatly appreciated. I've actually contacted you through Patreon as well. So thank you very much for that donation you gave me. Yeah, I can't do it without you guys. So we're all in this together. I want everybody to start building this stuff. It's one thing to see me do it, but I want you guys to start building it. You know, because I'm proving the concept now and it works. So if it works and you follow my schematics, which I have posted in Patreon, and a lot of people were very happy that I posted that, now you can build off it, right? So it gives you a starting point so you can really build off that circuit. It's pretty basic, but all you have to do is just throw all the other little stuff in there and, you know, like a speed control, whatever you want, amp meters, whatever you want to add to it, voltmeters, you can expand off that circuit. So anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of rambling, I guess, but that's it for tonight. I gotta go to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna call it a night, and yeah, we'll see everybody soon.